We are so caught up in other people's versions of ourselves that we even have another version of ourself in our own mind, an aspect, a perspective that pushes us to be somebody we don't truly prefer to be. A constant beckoning of who is this me? I do not wish to be your version of me. I do not live for your compliments or your validation. I do not seek your approval. I do not want your justice. However, the life I lead is seeking that justice and that approval all the time, even when I didn't know it. And my true self is on the line. I strive to be myself. But myself is not good enough, is not success, is not what we were programmed as the human being that we are supposed to be in order to get the approval of some imaginary patriarch in the sky. Why? Why? Why do I constantly seek the just us? Someone said to me recently, justice is not believing that there's more than one reality. If this reality is not just, move to a reality that you prefer instead of winding yourself up in the reality that you don't prefer. Just us is seeking someone's above me, someone's below me, someone has power over me. My belief creates my reality. I live that. I preach it. I talk it. But I don't embody it. I berate myself. I bully myself. I don't just be like, oh, what other people say and how they judge how I look or how I've lived my life or their perceptions of me through their lens and their perspective. I oftentimes take in as that's something to do with me and try to become their version of me, which makes me miserable. Spirit encourages me to stop seeking the approval of others. I'm like, I am not seeking the approval of others. How in the world do you think I'm seeking the approval of others? Well, because even though I don't believe I have an arrogance, I don't believe I have a self-importance, a need to be seen, a need to be validated, I do. And I show that every day. I have the own aspects of my mind that I talk to that are constantly judging me for my physical life that doesn't suit some program or some version of the mother archetype or the father archetype, or, abusive things of, you're lazy and you're not successful and you're not, and then you pick the person who is, oh, they're so successful, right? Well, there's no such thing. There's always a reality that you can move to that is your preferred reality. And when you continually focus on the reality that's not what you want it to be, you're completely ignoring giving the energy and feeding energy to the reality that you do want to believe. Now, your belief doesn't have to invalidate others' beliefs. Other people have a way of life. They have their own perspective. That is one timeline. You don't have to tell them how wrong they are, or fight against how wrong they are. Simply move to the reality that you prefer, where that doesn't even exist. And these are the things I'm working on now. And I have for decades. I have to throw that in, but I've tried so hard. Blah, blah, blah. Shifting to the reality that you prefer, instead of focusing on the reality you do not prefer. I have talked about and taught and read for decades, and I'm still not 100% embodying it. I still look at things and go, well, that's not right. Well, he's not doing that right. Well, though that's an attack on me, and that's bad on me, and I need to do this, and that person's a victim. Nobody's a victim. They create their own reality. Well, they're a victim, and I have to save them, and I have to rescue them. What? No. I could just move to a reality where none of that is so. But instead, I focus on and validate and keep kind of putting it into reality with my energy that person is a victim, while at the same time saying, I don't believe people are victims. I believe we all create our own reality. Well, then why do you need to go in and save that victim? They are creating their own reality. But I forget, and I have this drive to save people, to help people, to spout something. And also my spiritual guide told me today that when I'm pointing out things, negative things about other people or exposing people, I'm kind of forcing a viewpoint that I've seen or something I've discovered about somebody onto other people who haven't discovered it yet. And why my energy focusing on the way that other people and things are that I want to change, instead of just, yes, changing me, be that you want to see in the world. But why not just focus on what I love and what I want? Well, I tell Spirit, well, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I love. Well, if you don't know what you love, Spirit says just make yourself more comfortable. Okay, well, because I grew up in chaos, like a war zone, when there's a lull, when the fighting stops and the bickering stops and the chaos stops, I feel like I'm dying, or I'm in the void, or I'm depressed, or I'm down. And they say this about a lot of PTSD from war. People that have been in wars, they want to go back to the war because they can't take the peace and the calm. And that's another big challenge for me right now, is to allow the peace and not need to stir up energy to bring more chaos in me. Let it be. They've made their choices. They live in their reality. It's not a time now. We're in New Earth. It's not a time to convince them to be someone they're not, but to be who I am and to live in the reality that I want to live in and prefer to live in, instead of focusing on them not living in the reality that I don't approve of. And I want justice and I want them to be a different way, instead of just living my life outside of their matrix, outside of their timeline, and shifting. The more I hold on to my disapproval and judgment of them, the more I'm stuck in the old reality. And that's what Spirit's working on with me now. And it's like, it's not easy, because I really want to do good things and I want to help people and I want to, but the thing is that if I am me, and that's all I need to be, Spirit says. Let myself be myself, and those things won't bother me, and I won't feel like I need to fix and change and expose other people. I'll just move to a different reality where that doesn't exist.